and some digital files that I have on my computer. So let's get started. First, you're going to open your Silhouette Studio software. And if you go to the Silhouette online store, this is the template that I used to make that card. Again, here's the card. I use this template to make this card. So that's by Lori Whitlock. If you don't have that, you'll need to purchase that. And then go into your library and pick the card, double click, and it comes in like this. The first thing I did was click on it and ungroup. Right click, ungroup. That will give you this piece. Oops. Do that. That'll give you, the hearts will be separate, and this will be one piece, and we want to group just this part together so that those lines stay together. So select it, right click, group. Now this will move as one piece. Next thing I did was go into my page tool settings, use printer settings. I want to print this on letter size paper, so I chose 8.5 by 11 on a 12 by 12 mat. And then I moved everything to fit on the page. Make sure you don't resize it. And I know just because I've already done this, I'm going to flip this over just to save some space on the paper. Okay. So the first thing I did was focus on the card base. And what's going to happen is this is, you're going to fold on these dotted lines, the perforated lines. You're going to fold this as a valley, this as a mountain. So this will fold towards the back. And then when you pull on this side of the card, the heart actually flips over. Again, I'll show you. So when you pull on this part of the card, this heart flips over and it has the back side showing. So in order to get that pattern on this piece of paper, what I did was open a collection of papers that I have by Karina Gardner, and these are called Paris Market. And I just, for the front of my card, I chose this pattern. So you just drag that over and drop it on the card base. And I left the scale, everything just like it is. And then for the heart, this heart is slightly bigger. This heart, the smaller heart fits inside of this heart. This heart is exactly the same size as the card base. So this one you're only going to see a little bit. So I chose this background for that. And then for the smaller heart that is on top, I chose this red. And actually I wanted this red print to be a little bit bigger. So what I did to fix that is I click on the Fill Pattern window, go to Advanced Options, and scale that pattern up like that. Okay, next thing I did was click on registration marks. And I want to show registration marks because I want to be able to print and cut this. And looks like we're pretty good. We want to make sure everything's inside that, not touching in the hash marks because it won't print there. So we're going to move this over just a little bit. And then I'm going to scale down my registration marks by using these small arrows until everything fits on the paper. Being careful, don't ever get outside of this outside line because it will not print your registration marks. So everything is in the white. We're good. I'm going to check my cut lines. And it looks good there. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to my printer. I'm going to print it on brochure paper. I get mine from Staples. They have, Epson has one, HP has one, Staples has one. They all work just about the same. I use the matte paper. Some of them call it presentation paper. So I'm going to I've already printed this, so I'm not going to print it, but that's what you would do. And then after that prints, you're going to send it to the Cameo. Click here to skip printing. Continue. You're going to detect your registration marks automatically, and that will take you to the cut window. Now that takes care, those three pieces take care of the front of this card. Now we're going to do the back side, and all we need for the back side is this insert and these two little hearts. So what we're going to do for that is start a new project. And again, I'm going to go get that template. And this time, right click, ungroup. Totally don't need this card base. So we're going to delete that. And this is the larger heart. We're going to use that. And this will be the smaller heart that fits inside, about like that. So what I want to do with the first heart is fill that with another pattern. And I'll choose this one. And again, I want to change the scale of that. I want to make that scale a little bit bigger. More like that. And for the inside, I just want to pick up this beige color. So what we're going to do is go to the fill window. We're going to pick up this dropper. And then we're just going to go over until we see that color show up in the window. And there, that fills that. Now, we don't want to cut this out because we're going to just lay that right on top. You could cut it out and put maybe some foam adhesive to give it some more dimension. I did not on mine. Actually, I think I like that idea. So I would cut this separately. We're going to add our text in here. Click on the text tool, text, and I put on mine, you can write whatever you want, and I used the font Boston, I think it's called Boston Baby, or let's see, there it is, Baby Boston. And I wrote it in 12-point size. And I wanted to pick up, I did mine in a wine color, sorry. I did mine in a dark red, but you could pick up this green if you wanted. See how that looks. You make my heart swing. I put swing because the heart swings around, but you can write whatever you want. And we'll go back to the text tool, and I want to center that. Oops, click. Center. And I don't like that. It's a little bit too light, I think. So let's go with the red, maybe? Okay, let's go with red. And we will also go to the fill window and fill it with red so it's solid. Now we're going to group these together so that the text stays, well, actually, let's move this text a little bit. Center that better. There we go. Group these together so that the text stays with the heart. Right click. Group. Now this will move as one item. And the other thing we want to do is, well, we're going to cut this out so we don't, let's see, if we go to our cut window, we don't want the text to cut out. So we should have, I apologize, ungroup. Now choose the text, choose the cut window, no cut. Okay, now we can group it back together. Group. So now just the outside of the heart is going to cut. And then when we print it out, we will put that on top of that heart using foam adhesive. and that will give the card a little bit added dimension. So all you want to do now is, again, go to your page settings. I use printer settings, use 8.5 by 11. If you have a smaller piece of paper, whatever you want to set yours up as works. On a 12 by 12 mat, use registration marks, click, make sure your hearts are inside. You want to conserve some paper, you can turn this around, get them a little closer, oops, get them a little closer together. That looks pretty good. And then you're going to cut that out and you'll have all the pieces together, ready to assemble the file, the card. So you're going to have the card base out of this. You will adhere your first heart, the bigger one, on the front. Put the red one on top of that. I use foam adhesive. For this heart, I just took a piece of book paper and freehand cut a small heart and taped that on there. When you open the card up, your heart will swing around and you can layer your other two hearts. I added two, again, small hearts, just freehand cut. If you have a heart punch, that works great. And this is just a piece of book paper. And that's it. That's all there is to this card. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you need me to go through the construction of it more, I can do that for you. Just leave me a comment. Thanks, and I will see you soon. Bye.